up, Unstoppables? Here we are in Iowa City, Iowa. We have 6 amazing interviews lined up throughout Iowa for you this week.
This road trip brought to you by Restaurant Systems Pro.
I started selling cupcakes at the farmer's market.
Okay, I love this though. With excitement, allow me to introduce to you today's guest, founder of Cookies and Dreams, Steph Sellers. Are you feeling unstoppable today?
So unstoppable.
Yes, I'm feeling unstoppable. I cannot wait to dive into your story. I know you've got a lot of things happening in your life right now, new spaces, new restaurants opening, new babies in your life. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll talk about that later as well.
Absolutely.
So many things to cover today, but I cannot wait until we can't get there until we share your success quote or your mantra. So what do you got for us?
So my success quote or mantra, I guess it's not like the sexiest one or like the most romantic, but it's just, there is no secret, keep going. Know what you're good at and know what your secret sauce is, because we all have our secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
And keep going. Like, it's very, very simple to me. When you take away all of that excess, then it's just, you have to keep going because it's so hard. Sometimes you just don't want to. Actually, this can like go way, way back to little mini Stephanie as a child, baking with my babysitter when I was young, and that was like our activity that we would do together, and we would enter stuff in the local 4-H competition. You know, here in Iowa, that's a big deal around here. So we would enter in cookies and brownies and little baked goods in the 4-H competition, and that was what really gave me the foundation for baking and for anything food related at all. My mom and dad aren't really big cooks or bakers. So my Mimi is who my babysitter was. And so she taught me the foundations and the basics. And it kind of led me down a place of comfort. And later on, as I grew up and grew older and through college, that's what I would do when I just needed to blow off some steam, you know, get your hands dirty a little
Zen
bit.
action in there.
100%.
Yeah, I love that.
I started selling cupcakes at the farmer's market.
Okay. I love this though.
Yeah.
Seriously, like I would advise anybody who's looking to start a business, especially if it's one thing really well, if you're putting your energy into like, whether it's cookies or cupcakes, I mean, your focus is cookies now, that's safe to say.
Yes,
right?
correct.
So, but you did other things, but just getting out there, right? So what made you, did you get a piece of advice? Was this all on your own as a hobby? Like what made you do this?
It was all on my own, actually. I thought cupcakes were really popular, and I got really, really into all of the really cool designed cakes, like on Cake Boss and stuff, and all the different fun flavors. And I was obsessed. Like every living, breathing moment was just like searching for new recipes, thinking of new ideas, practicing things. Like at this point in time, I was still living at home because, you know, laid off my job right out of college.
There's no shame in living at home, by the way. I feel like there's a lot of like stigma associated with that. It's only in Western culture that you really see that people move out as soon as they can. You go to other parts of the country, the world, and it's very usual to stay at home for your entire life, and it's much more communal that way. But anyway, no pressure. I'm not judging you. I don't know if anyone else is, but keep going.
Yeah, so my mom just loved that I had cakes and cupcakes and everything in the kitchen all the time, making a mess all the time. Bless her heart for allowing me to do that in her kitchen for all of those years. But I just, every waking moment, I was just researching. And that was the biggest thing.
What were you researching?
I was researching flavors. I was researching what other companies and other businesses were doing. This was right kind of when Instagram started to become popular. And so this was like this new thing, and food bloggers started to be popular. So then I was researching, how do I take pictures?
And you had your marketing background on top of this. So I'm clear, like there's a trend but like you can see that there's a recipe for success here.
Right,
you know?
Sure. So our Slutty cookie, or Double Trouble cookie is what it is now, is half OG chocolate chip, half triple chocolate filled with an entire Oreo and peanut butter, and topped with a little bit of sea salt. And this is our sprinkle sugar cookie. It's probably the best sugar cookie you've ever had in your life. It's just a sugar cookie with rainbow sprinkles on it, but it's chef's kiss. And snickerdoodle cheesecake cookie, classic snickerdoodle cookie filled with cheesecake filling.
Ooh.
So it's just like snickerdoodle on steroids. It's so good.
Man.
These two, I would say, are our best sellers.
Those look so good.
Other than chocolate chip, of course.
I think there's a little lesson to be told about branding and how that can sometimes get you in trouble, or names of things on your menu might be offensive. So this is your slutty cookie.
Yes.
Once was known as the slutty cookie. What makes it a slutty cookie?
Just the ingredients. It's like, half chocolate chip, half triple chocolate with the Oreo and peanut butter. This is like a internet famous recipe or like flavor combination that's been floating on food blogs since food blogs were a thing.
Yeah.
Is like the slutty dessert, or I think sometimes it's gone by like a better than sex dessert. So like one of those two names with these ingredients: chocolate chip cookies, brownies. Usually we went with double chocolate or triple chocolate. I'm sorry, Oreos and peanut butter.
Yeah.
So that's how it came up with the slutty name, which I did not. I was born with that. I did not come up with the slutty name as much as I would have liked to.
And Kelly, who we've mentioned a few times, I think she agreed with me, is because there's a lot of things in there.
Yes.
Is why we call it the
It's
slutty
a little bit of
cookie.
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Some people that were unhappy with the name because of taking their kids into the store and having them say slutty cookie, or people were just like unhappy with the word slutty.
Yeah.
Which we fought it for a while.
What was your perspective?
I thought words only have power if you give them power. And so I thought, well, why does slutty have to be a bad name? Like, why are you just defining it as that? It doesn't need to be that. So, that's another lesson, I suppose. And also we didn't call it slutty because we are like, came up with it. As much as I would have loved to be that creative. Yeah, like that's not, I didn't come up with the name. I was not that creative.
Yeah.
So we fought that for a long time until finally, I think we've just grown so much that we can't fight it anymore. We've gotten to the point where it's easier for smaller places to have more tongue-in-cheek types of things. Like we had some really inappropriate names of some things at our restaurant, which was fine in our restaurant where we served alcohol and were late, but open late and had a bar and everything. But
I think you point out a big part of this, and where I think a lot of this hinges on this is when it comes to children. Right?
Yeah.
And who your target market is, and I think I'm assuming children are a big part of your target market.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is there a percentage you have it broken down at all?
I mean, women are like 95% of our target market and our customer base, and women with children make up the majority of that.
Yeah.
So they bring in their kids all the time.
Yeah. So you have to be. I think you have to be mindful of the target market.
Yeah.
Especially as you said, as you scale and the brand becomes, I don't want to say less intimate, but more intimate with more people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like you have to think about how you can make it more palatable for the masses. So it's a great lesson.
Absolutely. I mean, I was kind of sad, but it's okay. It's still the same cookie. So
Here we go. Latest stick.